Ladies and gentlemen, time is the currency of life. Every human being, whether rich or poor, young or old, is given the same deposit of 24 hours each day. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is not the amount of time they receive, but how they invest it. There was a time in my life when I thought I had time to waste, when I allowed distractions to consume my energy and excuses to justify my stagnation. I believed that success was something that would happen someday, not something that had to be intentionally pursued every day. But I was wrong. I came to realize that wasted time is wasted destiny. When I changed my mindset about time, my life transformed. I stopped seeing time as something to pass and started seeing it as something to invest. I began to treat every moment as a seed that had the potential to produce a harvest. The result, I stopped wasting time and started winning. My relationships improved, my purpose became clearer, and my life took on a new direction of fulfillment and achievement. Tonight, I want to share with you 7 key principles that helped me break free from time-wasting habits and step into a life of victory. These principles are not just ideas. They are practical truths that, if applied, will revolutionize your life. I don't share these things as theories. I share them as realities that have reshaped my journey. Some of you have been waiting for the right time to step into your destiny, but let me tell you, the right time is now. Others have been held back by fear, laziness, or distractions, but after tonight, you will have the tools to overcome them. The moment you take control of your time, you take control of your life. Are you ready to step into your winning season? Then let's begin. Time is the most valuable asset you will ever own. There was a time when I thought money was my most valuable asset. I believed that if I just had enough financial resources, I would be successful. But I was wrong. Money can be lost and regained. Opportunities can disappear and return. But time is the only resource that, once spent, can never be recovered. I used to waste my time on meaningless conversations, unnecessary distractions, and activities that added no value to my life. I justified it by saying, I'll make up for it later. But one day I realized that later is a dangerous lie. Every minute I wasted was a minute I could never get back. That revelation changed everything. I began to study the habits of great men and women. I discovered that the most successful people in the world don't necessarily work harder than others. They work smarter. They understand the value of time and protect it with everything they have. They don't allow distractions to steal their focus or unimportant matters to consume their energy. When I started treating my time like a treasure, everything changed. I learned to say no to things that didn't align with my purpose. I stopped giving my attention to people and activities that drained me. I became intentional about every hour, every conversation, every commitment. Today, I ask you, how are you spending your time? Are you investing it in things that move you forward, or are you wasting it on things that keep you stagnant? If you don't control your time, life will control it for you. The moment you recognize the true value of time, you will begin to walk in wisdom. Excuses are the enemies of progress. For years, I lived with excuses. I told myself I wasn't ready. I convinced myself that I didn't have the resources, the knowledge, or the right connections. Every time I had an opportunity to grow, I found a reason why I couldn't take it. And for years, I stayed in the same place. One day I had a wake-up call. I looked at my life and realized that the only thing standing between me and success was me. It wasn't my circumstances, my background, or my lack of resources. It was my mindset. I had become so comfortable making excuses that I didn't even realize I was using them to justify my own stagnation. Excuses are seductive because they make us feel justified in our failures. They give us a false sense of comfort, making us believe that the reason we are not progressing is beyond our control. But the truth is, as long as we hold on to excuses, we will never move forward. I decided to eliminate excuses from my life. I stopped blaming my past, my environment, and other people for where I was. I took full responsibility for my time, my actions, and my results. And when I did, everything changed. If you want to stop wasting time and start winning, you must eliminate excuses. No more I can't, no more I don't have enough, no more it's not the right time. The time is now, and the only thing standing in your way is the excuse you keep telling yourself. Clarity of purpose eliminates distractions. One of the greatest lessons I learned was that people who lack purpose are easily distracted. When you don't know where you're going, anything can look like an opportunity. When you are unsure of your destination, every path seems attractive. And that's how time is wasted. For years, I allowed myself to be pulled in different directions. I said yes to things I should have said no to. I pursued opportunities that had nothing to do with my destiny. I was busy, but I wasn't effective. I was moving, but I wasn't progressing. Then I discovered the power of purpose. When I got clear about my calling, I began to prioritize differently. I no longer wasted time on things that didn't align with my vision. I stopped seeking validation from people who weren't going where I was going. I became focused, disciplined, and intentional. Distractions are only effective when you lack clarity. The moment you define your purpose, distractions lose their power. You no longer chase everything because you know exactly what belongs to you. You no longer waste time on unnecessary relationships, conversations, or activities because you understand that time is too precious to be spent on things that don't serve your mission. Today, I challenge you to ask yourself, what is my purpose? What is the assignment I was created to fulfill? Once you gain clarity, your time will no longer be wasted. You will move with confidence, and every decision you make will be rooted in wisdom. Discipline transforms dreams into reality. I used to believe that passion alone was enough to achieve success. I thought that if I wanted something badly enough, it would eventually happen, but I was wrong. Passion is the spark, but discipline is the fuel that keeps the fire burning. Without discipline, even the greatest dreams will remain unfulfilled. For years, I was inspired by big ideas, but I lacked the discipline to execute them. I would start projects with excitement, but abandon them when things got difficult. I would set goals, but without consistent effort, they remained nothing more than wishes. I admired successful people, yet I failed to adopt their habits. And because of that, my life remained stagnant. Then I made a decision that changed everything. I committed to discipline. I stopped relying on motivation, which comes and goes, and started building habits that would carry me through even when I didn't feel like working. I created a schedule, set clear goals, and held myself accountable. I trained myself to wake up early, focus on my priorities, and eliminate anything that did not contribute to my growth. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the daily commitment to excellence, the refusal to settle for mediocrity. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not talent, it is discipline. The most talented person in the world will accomplish nothing without the discipline to stay consistent. Some of you have incredible ideas, powerful visions, and God-given abilities. But if you do not develop discipline, your potential will remain untapped. You must train yourself to stay committed even when you don't feel like it, to keep working even when no one is watching, and to push forward even when progress seems slow. Discipline is not easy, but it is necessary, and the moment you master it, you will no longer waste time. You will move from dreaming to doing, from wishing to achieving, and from waiting to winning. The right environment determines your growth. For years, I surrounded myself with the wrong people. I spent time with individuals who had no vision, no ambition, and no desire to grow. We wasted hours on meaningless conversations, indulged in negativity, and justified mediocrity. And as a result, my life reflected my environment. I was stuck. One day I realized a powerful truth: you cannot grow in the wrong environment. A seed, no matter how powerful, will not flourish in barren soil. If you plant yourself in negativity, in complacency, in laziness, you will never produce the fruit of success. I made a decision to change my environment. I began surrounding myself with people who were disciplined, focused, and committed to greatness. I sought out mentors who challenged me to think bigger, to work harder, to push past my limits. I eliminated toxic relationships that drained my energy and surrounded myself with those who inspired me. Your environment is either feeding your success or feeding your failure. The conversations you entertain, the habits you adopt, and the people you surround yourself with are shaping your destiny. If you want to stop wasting time, take a hard look at your environment. Who are you listening to? What are you watching? Where are you spending your time? If you are surrounded by people who constantly complain, make excuses, and resist growth, you will adopt the same mindset. But if you position yourself in an environment of excellence, you will rise to new levels. Success is contagious, but so is failure. Choose wisely. The right environment does not just encourage growth, it demands it. And the moment you align yourself with people and places that push you forward, you will begin to win. Fear is a thief. Conquer it and take back your time. Fear is one of the greatest thieves of time. It paralyzes dreams, delays decisions, and keeps people stuck in mediocrity. For years, I allowed fear to dictate my actions. I was afraid of failure, so I didn't take risks. I was afraid of rejection, so I didn't pursue opportunities. I was afraid of the unknown, so I stayed in my comfort zone. And in doing so, I wasted precious years of my life. Then I had a realization. Fear is an illusion. It is a mental barrier that only exists if you allow it to. The only way to defeat fear is to confront it head on. Every great person you admire had to overcome fear to achieve success. They felt the fear, but they moved forward anyway. They understood that fear is not a stop sign, it is a test of faith. I made a decision to no longer let fear control me. I embraced challenges instead of avoiding them. I stepped into uncertainty instead of retreating from it. I took action even when I felt afraid. And I discovered something amazing. Fear loses its power when you refuse to obey it. Many people waste years waiting for fear to disappear before they take action. But fear does not leave on its own. It must be conquered. The longer you allow it to hold you back, the more time you waste. Every second spent worrying, hesitating, and doubting is a second that could have been used to build, create, and achieve. I challenge you today. What fear is stealing your time? What have you been avoiding because you are afraid? It's time to step out in faith. It's time to take action despite the fear, because the moment you conquer fear, you will take back control of your time and your destiny. Success is a series of small, consistent wins. One of the greatest lessons I learned is that success is not one big event. It is a series of small, consistent victories. I used to believe that winning meant making one giant leap. I thought success came in the form of sudden breakthroughs, overnight success, or instant results. But I was wrong. Success is built through daily habits, small improvements, and consistent actions. It is waking up every day and choosing to be disciplined, focused, and intentional. It is making the right choices even when no one is watching. It is working when you don't feel like it, learning when you don't have to, and pushing forward when you want to quit. I used to get discouraged when I didn't see immediate results. I wanted fast success. But I didn't realize that true success is the result of patience and persistence. Every great person you admire did not get there overnight. They got there by winning small battles every single day. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not talent, it is consistency. Many people start strong but quit when progress seems slow. They want instant rewards, but they are unwilling to endure the process. They celebrate the idea of success but refuse to commit to the daily work required to achieve it. I decided that I would no longer chase quick results. Instead, I committed to consistent effort. I focused on small wins, reading a book instead of watching TV, exercising instead of making excuses, working on my goals instead of procrastinating. And over time, those small choices added up to big results. Winning is not about one big moment. It is about the small decisions you make every day. If you commit to consistent growth, you will wake up one day and realize that you are no longer wasting time. You are winning. Ladies and gentlemen, your time is your greatest asset. The moment you recognize its value, eliminate distractions, and take control of your actions, your life will change forever. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It does not exist. Stop making excuses. They will only keep you stuck. Stop allowing fear to hold you back. It is time to move forward. Winning is not for the chosen few. It is for those who are willing to be disciplined, focused, and intentional. It is for those who refuse to waste another second of their lives. The time to start is now. The time to take action is now. The time to win is now. I challenge you, from this moment forward, make a decision to stop wasting time and start winning, because the future belongs to those who value the present. Thank you.